The Lord is our shepherd, I shall not want. Him make an eye like down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water. Them him restoreth I soul. Him leadeth I in the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea! Though I rasta go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil, for thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Uno prepares the table before right in the presence of our enemy them. Uno anointed I head with uno oil. The cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy. I go follow I all the days of I Ivan. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Ja. Kremawe. Gromabe. Tela e. Exag beer. Tana istalina bashante shante 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 shante. Now so bolisa. Adan water. It was sick player 4. This is the black pot. AKA Kukushunamo, where we speak truth to power. Here we don't criticize. If we must criticize, we would only just criticize to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country. Now we call it the black pot because in every African traditional home, there is a black pot. And each time, ingredients of so many different types and shapes and sizes and even aromas and colors find their way into this black pot, sitting on top of a very beautiful flaming fire. We know that food is being prepared in all its sumptuousness. This is when several ideas come into play, and we bring out the best, the creme de la creme of all the ideas to bring about the solution. It's not only about talking about problems, but how do we solve the problems? My brother, my sister, we do not purport to be the custodians of all knowledge, the repository of all knowledge. We are only pencils in the hands of the Almighty. Work with me, O Lord. Use me, O Lord, in every direction to be able to reach out to the people. It's the black pot, aka Kukushodomo. Here we speak truth to power. And my name, come here. Black Rasta. And we have a number of issues to look at today. Are you ready? Run the story, my youth. The first story is hitting you like a thunderbolt. Come along. Manasseh Azure in 28 million American dollar clash with Ibrahim Mahama. We all know Manasseh Awene Azure. This is this man. Very, very loyal son of the land. Very, very powerful son of the land. He comes from a very poor background. Has been able to break that jinx. And he's been recognized by the whole world. He's won several awards via his investigative journalism. When he writes, it's like he invented writing. He's a gentleman that I truly love. I worked with him at Multimedia. At the time, he was so poor. He rode to work on a scooter. You know what a scooter is? And then he broke a certain story, and people started coming from left, right, and center, trying to bribe him not to continue with the series. There were some stories he was about to break. Having called people to get their side of the story, he only got them trying to bribe him. Poor as he was, he still refused to take the bribe money, still riding his scooter to work. My brother, my sister, he's a gentleman that I can vouch for. If we have about 100 of these people in our country, I believe that vocally we will be able to reach so many other people and convert them into loyalty and anti-corruption. This is Manasseh Azure. Several times his life has been in danger. He had to run away all the way to South Africa to protect himself when he revealed some information in the media. According to him, the Nana Akufo-Addo government targeted him. At a point, his wife, who he just got married to the other day, was crying that she didn't want to be a widow. And for that matter, they should relocate. But he is still in this country. Once in a while, he travels out of the country. Presently, he's undergoing a certain course abroad. My brother, my sister, this is Manasseh Awune Azure. He wrote a book a few days ago, and that book came out, and it looks like the book is already ruffling some feathers. Businessman and brother of the former president of the Republic of Ghana, Ibrahim Mahama, of Engineers and Planners, a man that I've met only once all my life. And he left me with a heavy sum of money in appreciation of a song that I made for orphans. He told me, Black Rasta, this is for you. Go and feed the orphans. I will never forget this man, Ibrahim Mahama. So right now, I'm torn between two people. Ibrahim Mahama, who called me to his house, in fact, and made me feel happy that Saturday morning, and gave me a big envelope, an envelope that I hadn't seen for a very long time, from that time till now. He's a man that I love and admire. He's also a philanthropist. Anytime I drive around his house, around the Gold House, my brother, Kaukudide, it looks like that is the hub of begging. So many people from the Zongos come and parade themselves there in long, winding, serpentine queues, waiting for the benevolence of this man to smile at them. I don't envy him at all. My brother, I will be a happy man to have people come in front of my gate every day and be asking for something to eat and direction for their lives. It's a blessing. But many people see it as a bother. For him, I think he sees it as a blessing. So that is Ibrahim Mahama, a brother of the former president of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama. He's not a politician. He's a businessman. The two of them are clashing. What is the clash all about? Manasseh received a letter from the lawyers of Ibrahim Mahama. And you know what the letter said? Come here! The letter told Mahama, in fact, told Manasseh to do something. What is this letter all about? The lawyers wrote to Manasseh, bring the letter quick, please. You know, very, very, very hot letter. It came out and it slapped Manasseh very strongly. I want to see the letter, please. Letter I asked for. This letter hit Manasseh in the face. And this letter made Manasseh shiver. What did the letter say? It told Manasseh that he had done something that was wrong, and for that matter, he must apologize. What exactly was it? My brother, my sister, Manasseh told us via social media that he had been contacted by the lawyers of the former president, I beg your pardon, of Ibrahim Mahama, so that he needed to be able to deal with some issues in terms of what the letter told him. My brother, my sister, Manasseh Azure faces legal threat from Ibrahim Mahama over allegations in the book. It's from that letter that this was published. I wanted you to see the letter first before coming to this, but NCR is slowing me down, cutting my flow. I don't normally like it like this. I want to go pa 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 like that. Run the next page. Quick, please. Let's hit it hard. Prominent Ghanaian businessman Ibrahim Mahama has issued a stern legal warning to investigative journalist Manasseh Azure Awune over claims made in his latest book, The President Ghana Never Got. In the book, Awune alleged that Ibrahim Mahama, the brother of former President John Dramani Mahama, was one of the major debtors of the now defunct Merchant Bank, a claim that has since been strongly contested. According to a letter from Ibrahim Mahama's legal counsel, Bobby Branson, Esquire, The businessman has never been personally indebted to Merchant Bank or its successor, UMB Bank. Instead, the letter clarifies that the loan in question was taken out by Engineers and Planners Company Limited, a separate legal entity from Mahama, and that the full loan amount of 28 million American dollars was paid off in February 2014. The letter also highlights that despite this repayment, the new management of Merchant Bank, later UMB Bank, failed to report the settlement to the credit bureau agencies and the Bank of Ghana. This led Engineers and Planners to file a court action against UMB Bank in 2023, seeking declarations that the debt has been fully paid and that the bank's claims of indebtedness were false. Ibrahim Mahama has never been indebted to Merchant Bank or its successor UNB Bank. Indeed, our client has never applied for or received any facility from the said bank in his personal capacity or for his personal use. Engineers and Planners Company Limited, which is a separate legal entity from our client, applied for and received a loan facility from Merchant Bank. In February 2014, the amount of 28 million American dollars was paid by Engineers and Planners Company Limited to Merchant Bank in full and final settlement of the loan amount. Now, a copy of the correspondence from Merchant Bank to this effect is attached as annexure, portions of the letter said. UMB Bank has since admitted in its statement of defense that the debt was indeed paid in full and has instructed credit bureau agencies to correct their records accordingly. Ibrahim Mahama, through his legal counsel, has demanded an immediate retraction and unqualified apology from Manasseh Azure Awuni, citing that the publication has tarnished his reputation as an honest businessman. That's it away. So that's what we're looking at. So the late letter has now arrived, and you can see addressed to Manasseh Azure Awuni from Robert Smith and Co. You know, it's a law firm. And it says, Ibrahim Mahama was not a debtor of Merchant Bank. Ibrahim Mahama was not a debtor of Merchant Bank. And when you read it, it says the same things that was published. You know, come here and dash it away. So now, Manasseh wrote on Facebook that truly Ibrahim Mahama's lawyers had spoken to him, and he had also sought counsel with his lawyers. Early today, Manasseh has decided to do the needful. He has rendered an unqualified apology to Ibrahim Mahama, and this is contained in a Facebook post that I saw earlier today, and I need you to look at that Facebook post. Please, I said Facebook post. Facebook post. That's what I want to see. Manasseh Azure Awuni, retraction and apology. Businessman Mr. Ibrahim Mahama has, through his lawyers, brought to my attention a fact that needs correction, and I hereby do so unreservedly. 1. In my latest book, The President Ghana Never Got, I discussed the banking crisis under Akufo-Addo administration, the Akufo-Addo administration, and how some banks were saved from possible collapse. In providing a background to the Universal Merchant Bank and the circumstances under which its new owners acquired it in 2013, I mentioned the controversy that arose when it emerged that one of the big debtors of the erstwhile Merchant Bank was Mr. Mahama. In fact, the fact is that the 28 million debt I referenced was owed by his company, Engineers and Planners Company Limited, a legal entity, and not Mr. Mahama personally. Next page, please. Consequently, I retract the said reference to Ibrahim Mahama as the debtor and apologize for any adverse effect that may have been occasioned by the said publication. It was a genuine oversight, which I am taking immediate steps to correct in the online version of the book and in subsequent reprints. Please note that down. It said that he is taking immediate steps to correct the online version immediately. And then subsequently, the reprints of the books that are coming out, he will make sure that these are done. That should happen. My brother, the whole issue is very simple. Ibrahim Mahama says, I was not the one personally indebted to Merchant Bank. It was my company. And I paid the money all the way back from February. The bank collapsed right after. The bank never came out to say, oh, we paid all the debt. The bank never said it. And for that matter, Ibrahim Mahama decided to sue the Merchant Bank. That's what Ibrahim Mahama is saying. He paid everything and on time. Yes, the bank collapsed, but he paid all his debt. And that was for engineers and planners and not Ibrahim Mahama personally. Manasseh has looked at the whole thing, jawed with his lawyers, and he has eaten the humble pie. Now, I am most excited in this. One, the two of them are my brethren, in the sense of the fact that I hold Manasseh in high esteem because of his loyalty and honesty, and he knows that. Ibrahim Mahama is also another businessman that I respect. I only got close to him after I released a song that he loved so much and called me over to come home and have dinner with him. And when I was going, he gave me some cash some years back. Ejankaba, the song is Ejankaba. He gave me some cash and said, Black Rasta, you know what? Feed the orphans with this. I'm glad that they have come to a certain point. But come here, my youth. Let us look at this interesting thing. Manasseh says the online version is going to be corrected immediately. However, the books have already been printed. As to how many copies of the books have been printed, we do not know. Until he goes for reprints, there isn't much he can do. He would still have to sell these ones that he has. Or better still, he didn't tell us if the copies are still there for sale. Is he going to pull back the books and run at a loss in order to protect the name of Ibrahim Mahama? Or whatever has been printed already would all have to be sold. And when he goes for reprinting, he will now have corrected this. Do you get it? What do you think? Manasseh says the reprints would have the correction. The reprints would have the correction. Aside that, the online one will be corrected immediately. That is easier to do. But the ones that have been printed already and being advertised by Manasseh so heavily, directing people to where they can go and get the book to buy, he's saying that he can only effect a correction after those books are gone and a reprint is made. Question again, is Manasseh going to pull back the books? Run at a loss, at least for now, to protect the name of Ibrahim Mahama? Or Ibrahim Mahama would allow the selling of the first batch of the books, of what number we don't know, 1 million copies, 200 copies, 500,000 copies, we do not know, until these run out. Or better still, until Manasseh goes for reprints, these ones have already been printed. Manasseh did not tell us whether they are going to continue selling the books or they will pull them back. Or as it stands now, that right now, he has actually finished selling all the books. He hasn't been advertising the book from when he apologized. Probably he's pulling them back. Or better still, he's finished selling everything. My brother, my sister, come here. I am excited about one thing, that understanding has come to play. Ibrahim Mahama does not hate Manasseh. Manasseh does not hate Ibrahim Mahama. And I think that is a genuine mistake. Yes, there was a $28 million debt. And it was owed by engineers and planets. That is owned by Ibrahim Mahama. But at the end of it all, he said he's paid. And the bank irresponsibly did not come out to say that, oh, he's paid. Much as you said he was indebted. Now that he's paid, you should also come out and say that he's paid. Now, Ibrahim Mahama has decided to publish all the bank records, how much he has paid to Merchant Bank. I'm going to run them so that you see some of them as quick as I can. These are some of them. Yes, notification of the finance of outstanding, blah, 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 how much he paid and all that. This is from Merchant Bank. Merchant Bank actually came out to say, well, Mahama has paid. He's paid everything. That's it. And these documents are there for everybody to see. It's the Blackboard, a.k.a. Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. Keep your comments coming. We're going to read them, yes, in a jiffy. In the interim, our numbers are also running on the screen. Make sure that you pick them up and then you do due diligence. Speak to us, business, and let us advertise your product on this show. Thank you so much to Nigeria. We have a number of Nigerian people watching this show. We have a lot of people also from the Gambia, from America, from Canada, England. We want to say thank you so much. We appreciate you. Next story, my lords. Now the next story says, Bawumia exposes himself over real presidency intentions. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is Ghana's political Mr. Bean. This is a guy who goes around making mockery of himself. From when he became the vice president of this nation, many Ghanaians have tagged him as a liar. He has told more lies than Satan ever told Adam and Eve. Mahmoud Bawumia has lost it when it comes to Ghanaian politics. So many people are so disappointed in this guy. A lot of people believed that he was going to do a lot to salvage the economy of this nation. He boasted that they had the men and they were going to deliver. Alan Chairman Ting, blah, 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 blah. He mentioned all their names. But those men were nothing but fish. They couldn't do anything. They've returned to the sea and they are in there having a jolly time. My brother, my sister, he himself has been a very terrible failure. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is the flag bearer of the NPP. It's made a lot of the members of the party who were there before him aggrieved. And a lot are waiting for his downfall so they can come out and talk, including MPs and some other such people. Well, one of the founding fathers of the party is called Nyaho Tamaklo. Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo has said that Ghanaians, after this election coming up in December, will never accept any verdict except that the NPP has lost. And this is a member of his party, a founding member. This is how disappointing his government has performed. My brother, my sister, he has been busy going around campaigning. And over the weekend, he met with the press. Oh my God. And he spoke with the press. But I want to show you something interesting. At the press meeting, he told them he was so satisfied with his government. That's what he said. I started by telling you that he has performed so abysmally, and for that reason, Ghanaians are not happy with him anymore. And two, even some party members are so disillusioned, they don't want to see Bawumia. There are a lot of Ghanaians who put up their TV when they see the face of Bawumia. But this is Bawumia talking. 25th August 2024, published at 10:21 p.m. He says, I am very proud of my record. In other words, if Ghanaians are not proud of my record, me, I am proud. The flag bearer of the governing New Patriotic Party, the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has expressed pride in the achievements of the NPP government under President Akufo-Addo. According to him, the country has experienced significant strides made across various sectors since the NPP assumed office in 2017. Answering a question on whether or not he would apologize for under-delivering his promises to Ghanaians at a media engagement on Sunday, Dr. Bawumia insisted that the incumbent government, in which he is a vice president has accomplished a lot. He said he takes a lot of pride in these achievements, especially when he compares them to that of the previous government. Hold it there. I'm interested in that paragraph. Answering the question on whether or not he would apologize for under-delivering his promises to Ghanaians at a media engagement on Sunday, Dr. Bawumia insisted that the incumbent government in which he's a vice president has accomplished a lot. So the arrogance will continue. Ghanaians are saying that you haven't done well. Your finance minister has come out to apologize to the whole nation just last month for this abysmal performance. You are the CEM, chairman of the Economic Management Committee. You say you wouldn't apologize. You have done so well. So the point is very simple. If Ghanaians are waiting for you to apologize to them, then they would wait until the end of time. It's not going to happen. Bawumia says he is so proud of his record. He has done so well. And he's always saying, as compared to the previous government. We didn't want the previous government. So we sent them away. And many Ghanaians still believe that the previous government did better than Bawumia's government. My brother, my sister, Bawumia says he doesn't have any apology for anybody. In fact, to make it even better, he has done so well and is proud of his record. Now, at the same meeting, this was what Bawumia said. And that is what is the biggest news in Ghana today. If I do everything now, what will I do when I come into office? Is it not disappointing? It's like a student saying, if I study everything in class 5, when I get to class 6, what would I do? Oh, Jesus. This is very sad. He was asked a question. You said you will abolish the killer taxes that you and your government inflicted on us. Why don't you do it now? And this was what he said. If I do everything now, what would I do again when I come into power? So that means the power is sweeter to him than the work. Do you get it? It means he by all means wants to be president. And even though he could have done it, he will not do it. He will do some and wait and do the rest when he is voted into the presidency. Or else Ghana would lose. That's what he's saying. This is what Bawumia said. His miscommunications are going around trying to fight this and say some other things. But my brother, my sister, it is what it is. This is what the vice president has said. He is the flag bearer of the NPP. He has made it clear that if he does everything right now, if he gets into the presidency, what would he do? The work would have been done already. So it's not about the inability to do the work. It is actually intentionally retrogressing the nation and taking the nation captive for a ransom. If you don't vote me in as president, the rest of the work will not be done. I can do it, but I won't do it until you put me in there. To God be the glory. That's Shimawe. Well, those of you who are running around still believing in Ghana's political Mr. Bean, he has shown you that he doesn't belong to the presidency. He belongs to the circus. Are you ready for the circus? Or you are ready for the presidency? What do we need right now? A circus or a presidency? To God be the glory. I have told you, if this man becomes the next president of Ghana, I am out of this country. I will leave this country so that those of you who believe in him will stay with him, and he will ask you to put him for another tenure to make it 8 years to complete the rest of the works. To God be the glory. It's the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. When we return, we got more. Come here! Wayo!
Blackpot, Kukushonomo.
It's the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, and here we speak truth to power. See me and come live with me are two different things. It's a popular Jamaican proverb that I truly love. See me and come live with me. It's two different things. In other words, a friend who comes to visit you, or a friend who passes by to say hi, or somebody that you see occasionally, in fact, is different when the person comes to live with you. How many people can relate to this? You see somebody and from afar, you seem to be gelling. You are good friends. But the moment you invite them to come and stay with you, the first week you are already regretting. That is when you see that they don't wake up early to clean. That is when you realize that they eat too much. That is when you realize that they are lazy. That is when you realize that there are some things that you can only get to know about somebody when they live with you. So the Jamaicans say, see me and come live with me are two different things. It's the quote of the day. It's the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo. And here we speak truth to power. Next story. Now the next story says, massive exodus. Ghana nurses happy to relocate. Oh my God. And when we say exodus, Bob Marley will tell you it's movement of Jah people. Those of you who read the Bible, you know that is the movement of God's people all the way from the land of Egypt, outside Egypt, going all the way to the promised land of Canaan, headed by Moses and his brother Aaron. True? These are Ghanaian nurses. They are so pretty and nice. They make sure that our health system works good. I came across a story and it broke my heart. Run the story, my youth. The country has collapsed. Nurses say as they relocate abroad for greener pastures. Oh my God. Over the past few years, economic challenges have compelled the Ghanaian youth to seek better opportunities abroad. These professionals have either left or are planning to leave the country due to various factors driven by economic, professional, and social reasons. Popular YouTuber Wodemaya recently met with a group of Ghanaian nurses at the airport. In a brief discussion with them, he asked about their destination and received a familiar response. According to these young nurses, the current economic conditions, along with their inability to be assigned to health facilities, have prompted them to leave the country for the UK, where they believe better opportunities await them. One of them stated, "We are moving to London forever and ever. Ghana has collapsed. The president has failed to assign us to any facilities after school. We have not been assigned for 4 years now." Wodemaya also asked how they managed to secure the opportunity to leave. And they all replied, "We did it ourselves." The YouTuber briefly shared his thoughts about the development. "I believe the government needs to take action because this is brain drain." In response, one of the nurses said, "I am certain the healthcare system in Ghana is on the verge of collapse in the next 5 years. They are marching. We are marching to UK. We are marching to our London. We are marching to our London, and no more to return, and no more to return. We are marching to UK, London. We are marching to London, UK. We are marching to London, UK, and no more to return, and no more to return. They seem to be singing. But I see things like this, I get so heartbroken and crestfallen. My brother, I am sad as I speak with you. We spent money to train these beautiful young girls. We spent a lot of money to put them here. After the training, we say we don't have anybody to help with the harvest. So we let the harvesting rot. The food that we spent so much money and time to plant. It's time for harvesting. The laborers are few. So we leave the farms and all the food, all the harvest gets rotten. Those people who are quick enough, they come and take our harvest away. And people are happy that they are leaving Ghana because Ghana has collapsed. Oh, Jesus. My brother, I don't know what to say, honestly. What happened to patriotism? What happened to the great men of Ghana? What happened to impeachment? If the government is not doing good, impeach this dirty government. The anger in me, and I try to control it every time, is the same people who are making these nurses and doctors and teachers and everybody run out of this country. There are people who are supporting them and they want them to break the eight and stay in power. I don't have the power to say that, leave. We all have to collectively come and take this decision. So that's why I said, if majority of the people decide that they still want this government, it's on to you. I don't want this government. And I've made it clear. I wanted it some 8 years back, and we pushed it into power, supported it, encouraged it, but we realized that it's a useless government. They have not done well enough. But this is Bawumia saying he's proud of his record. It means if you are voting him on, don't expect anything better than he has already given you. After all, he's proud of what he has done. Nurses are going. They say in the next 5 years, the healthcare system in Ghana is going to collapse. They are saying they are going forever and ever, never ever to return. Does this make you happy? Go to their families and see they are jubilating. Some of them have sold everything that their mothers and fathers had for them to go to the UK. People that we train with money. Soldiers are leaving the country. They are going to the UK to do power. Police people are leaving Ghana. They are going out there to do power. Why? What have we done? Yeah, then. If you have failed so miserably and woefully like this, please respect yourself. Exit. But this is when they are even shouting, we are breaking the eight. We are breaking the eight. As if Ghanaians were, well, to God be the glory. It's a black box, aka Kokoshonemo. And when we return, we got more. We would also be reading your messages. Keep them coming. We are live on Facebook and also live on YouTube. Hey! Wayo!
Go on, Skipper George.
Blackpot. Coco Show, man.
It's the Black Pot, aka Kuku Showman here. We speak truth to power. All right. Let's look at the comments coming in. Make sure your comments come in. Now, Bon Pyramid says, good evening, Black Rasta. Watching this show, blend with my Sisala Dages. Hanye. All right. Keep the fire burning, Black Rasta. So you're listening to some Hanye, right? Yeah, right. Konyo Wanful says, good evening. More power. One boy says, welcome back, King. Boy. Grace Saki says hi. And I say hi back. Stephen Banda says, blessed Monday and the King of Africa is live. Thanks, Black Rasta, with your teaching. For your teachings and the teachings that you give us. Thanks. JDSGH says, more fire. Asma Bandawan says, welcome back to another great day. Legendary Black Rasta. Stephen Banda says, I'm listening with you, with my son, and he tells me, Dada, Black Rasta is here. Stephen Banda continues to say, I call my South African friend that you are alive. Okay. And I called him and he must be listening to you. He's like, you are too much. Thanks so much. Stanley of Paris says, it's Monday and we are airborne for God and country. Millie says, good job, Black Rasta. Harris says, greetings, Black and the team. Continue to speak truth to power. Ras Osaji Fodua Bill says, boom. Stephen Banda says, please share. Yes, share the broadcast so many more people can get to see what's happening here. Adu Divine says, burn fire. Listening to you from the Volta region. Leke. Dua Billions of Bill says, more fire, Black Rasta. Ras Nosa, Jack Messenger. Ikpong Meng says, greetings to the 7-star general himself, Ras Nosa, aka Jack Messenger from Nigeria. All right. Thank you so much. Ras Nosa, Jack Messenger, Ikpong Meng. Powerful name. Ballistic Missile says, fire. Oh boy. Trafi says, name and mentors. Fire, name and mentors. Asma Banda also says, more fire. TCJJ says, greetings, Black Empire Media family. Love. Fuseni Bakwobie says, Azure must withdraw all the books. Alexander Kwesi says, Tuma Black Rasta. This Azure guy is problematic. He's a problematic person. During election campaign time, I think he enjoyed doing this kind of thing when elections come around. He should be just careful. Watching you from Ontario, Canada. Well, that's what Alexander says. Fuseni Bakwobie says, Black Empire Media. Did Baumia call Nana Addo a murderer by saying the lie is better than his boss? Well, I don't seem to get it, Fuseni Bakwobie. But Baumia says that he's not aware of the fact that there has been an investigation or not in the deaths of the 8 people. Anyway, I think we'll get into detail. Says, Oboy Trafi says, I'm watching you live from Hamburg, Germany. Well done, Black Rasta. Bless and love and respect, my brother. All right, so you too, you can have your messages read here. Just send them up on Facebook and also on YouTube. I'll make sure we get them across to the rest of the world. And our numbers are rolling on the screen for business inquiries so we can do business together. Next story, my youth. President Mahama insult to Ghana. And this, Prince David talking. He says President Mahama is an insult to Ghanaians. Why? We'll find out. This is him. He's an actor that I love. I think he pushes it sometimes too hard. But he's somebody who is a Hollywood material. I watched him in a movie, I don't remember the title, and he was stark naked. Even though, his pipe was facing the other direction, and then they decided to just show his buttocks and all that. I thought that that was bold for a Ghanaian. And when you watch him act, you realize that this is a guy who has a lot of passion for what he does and is looking forward to breaking through and making it happen in that world. I believe that he dreams of Hollywood every now and then. So what would make such a fine actor, Prince David, say that the second coming of President John Dramani Mahama is nothing but an insult to Ghanaians? And you can see him standing in front of a setting screen which shows a Sakura head at the back. I believe that's the head of Nana Akufo-Addo, which says number 1. His face has been covered, but I want to believe that is the head. This head also looks like the head of Akpache. We all remember Akpache in the Thursday drama that we used to watch on TV. He says, Mahama coming back as president is an insult to Ghana. And this is Prince David Osei. Run the story. Ghanaian actor Prince David Osei has said the flag bearer of the opposition National Democratic Congress, the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, wanting to be elected as president again is an insult to the entire Ghana. According to him, he does not see why Mr. Mahama, after serving in public office, from being an assembly member through to an MP, then to president, should still want to return to the presidency. Speaking on GH1 TV, monitored by Ghana Web, Prince David Osei said he believes John Mahama has seen it all in public office and there's nothing more he can offer to further develop Ghana. He has been an assemblyman, a minister of information. He has been a parliamentarian. He has been a vice president. Technically, he was more like the president when the late Atta Mills was in power because he was sick. So he was more like the person running the show from behind. Then he became president. I don't have a problem with the man. He is such a nice gentleman. He has done enough for Ghana. My issue is that Ghana has a population of 33 million. Why must it be one man to become president, go through all the ranks, and then come back again? It looks like an insult to the whole of Ghana. It looks like the whole country. There's nobody who can manage the affairs of Ghana. And we have to bring an ex-president with the creative arts sector. I don't remember any landmarks during his tenure with the creative arts sector. Dash it away. Prince David Osei campaigned for Nana Akufo-Addo, as you can see in that earlier photograph. And later, he apologized for supporting such a dead horse. And that he was so disappointed with Nana Akufo-Addo. Now, he is campaigning for Bawumia. Wow. Wow. It's sad, isn't it? Now, Bawumia and Nana Akufo-Addo together messed up this nation. Nana Akufo-Addo made it clear that he brought Bawumia in because of his brains. Brought him on because of his geopolitical location. In other words, from the north. And so brilliant. He brought him to help him run the nation. Did they succeed? They failed together. My brother, if you have a captain and his assistant and the ship is sinking, who survives? We are all going down. We are all responsible. A good assistant should never ever blame his master for the wrong. If you want to blame him, then resign. I've tried. My boss wanted us to go this direction. I said, no, it's not good. The ship cannot go in that direction because there's a huge iceberg which can destroy this ship. But my boss is still insisting on going. For that matter, I have decided to abandon the ship. I'm leaving this ship and I'm going to join another one which is going to go in the direction that I think is good. We will applaud you. But not hypocritically. Stay with this man. Let him drive the thing all the way to the iceberg. Crash the ship. As we are all sinking and dying, you come to us and tell us, oh, make me the captain now. The ship is sinking. The ship is sinking. Make me the captain. I will turn the ship and will go into the other direction. It's the other man who did it. What a joke. Bawumia is rather an insult to us as Ghanaians. You sat down with a dead horse for 8 solid years. Destroyed the whole nation. Now you are telling us it's that dead horse and not you. Why? What kind of language is that? To make it worse, you are telling us you could have done it. but you didn't do it. You actually left some so that when you become president, you will do. What a joke. What do they take Ghanaians for? And let me get back to Prince David Osei. My brother, with all love and respect, he's a brother that I love. So I'm going to treat him with kids' gloves. Watch this, brother. The people that you are supporting are rather the disgrace and the insult to Ghana. What are these people going to offer? 8 years in power, no ideas. Bawumia that we are supporting, he is the boss of the economic management team, right? What has he been able to do? The CD is hemorrhaging seriously over the dollar. Today is almost 17 Ghana cedis to a dollar. Are you happy? Look at inflation. Look at how the country has abysmally gone haywire. What have they been able to do? Now let me come back to Mahama being the disgrace. Mahama served as assemblyman. He served as a minister, at the same time vice president. And when the president was sick, he was the one running it from behind. And and for that matter, he has seen it all. He should go home and rest. Hey, I like the part where he said that Mahama has nothing to offer. Is it because of the number of years and positions that he has held? Doesn't that even tell us that he's rather more experienced than Bawumia that they brought from nowhere and made a vice president? He's never been an assemblyman, never been a minister, so green. Don't you think that Mahama should rather be the more experienced person? I'm asking. Again, I can tell you on authority, when Atta Mills was in power, there were a lot of people who disrespected Mahama simply because of his geopolitical location, where he was coming from. I can tell you that. He wrote a note for me to go and meet with the tourism minister at the time, so they would facilitate my meeting with Obama. They turned it down. A sitting vice president. There were ministers of state who were more powerful than Mahama in the days of Atta Mills. He took advantage of the man's illness, and then they became the presidents rather than Mahama. He couldn't do anything. His boss was sick. And the people the boss had brought around made it difficult for him to even penetrate them. I can tell you that. No wonder when he became president, he removed a lot of those people. And today, they are bitter. His own people that he even brought into the presidency, they joked with the nation. And I keep saying it. Mahama was not an angel. But if you put Mahama and Bawumia here, I'll go for Mahama. Yes. Bawumia is a traitor. He talks more than he does. And such people, you have to fear them. Mahama is not an angel. He is saying that when he comes back into power, there are a lot of things he's going to do. And from what he's saying so far and what he's doing, I see a more refined John Dramani Mahama than what we saw some years back. But you can't trust politicians. He will get into the presidency and then Kokoti will come again. They don't listen to anybody. I am proud of my record. I'm a dead goat. Whatever you do, I don't care. Hey! I think that Mahama still has a lot to offer. Mahama still has a lot to offer. I beg to differ. He has a lot of experience. And if this experience is brought to bear, we should have some kind of good things happening to our nation. But my brother, my sister, again, I'll be quick enough to say, politicians cannot be trusted. So Prince Osei, that is your answer. And I hope that you will look at it very seriously. The people who have messed up this economy, they are not an insult to Ghana. The man who has not been near the presidency for the past 8 years is the man who is a spent force. Therefore, he should go back and sleep. Well, opinions are like noses. All right, it's the Black Pot. Next story. Election ghosts crying for justice. And this is Reverend Opuni. Is that the last story? This is Reverend Opuni, and he's saying that some ghosts He qualifies them by calling them election ghosts are crying for justice. He used a harsher word. He says, our hands are bloody. 2020 electoral violence must be investigated and pacified. I agree with him. Reverend Dr. Kwabena Opuni Frimpong, the Executive Director of Alliance for Christian Advocacy, Africa, has raised concerns over the lack of action in addressing electoral violence and related fatalities in the country. He emphasized the urgent need for collective responsibility in tackling such issues. Dr. Opuni Frimpong, also a former General Secretary of the Christian Council, stressed that the prevalence of violence in elections in Ghana has severe consequences, effectively making the hands of citizens dirty and bloody. 8 people were killed before Nana Addo became president. Many more people were injured. They are so happy with the presidency, and whoever has been killed, it's just an impure blood to purify the land and prepare the way for their presidency. They don't care. But if a son or a daughter of a minister of state was amongst them, they would investigate it to the core. Many women, pregnant women, were dying at the Rich Hospital. It was as if nothing was happening until a minister's wife died there and action was taken. There was a vampire there called Dr. Odroy. Do we all remember? Or was it at the Tema Hospital? Sucking the blood of pregnant women in Ghana. When we were going to arrest him and deal with him, the same people were able to arrange for him to fly out of the country, Nicodemus. One of these days, we'll do a whole story on Dr. Odroy. Some dirty man. He was a doctor in one of the hospitals, I think, in Tema. Port's Hospital. Is there a hospital in Tema called Port Hospital? Something like that. In the days. Gapoa. Yes. Sucking the blood of pregnant women. He was a vampire. He was from Britain. His delicacy was pregnant women. The blood is hot and sweet. So they will bring you, wheel you quickly, take you into the consulting room, whatever, and puncture. He knew where the veins were, put his mouth to it, and sucked the hot blood. Pregnant women were dying in their droves. Some of you are so young, so you don't even know this story. Suck hot blood from the veins of pregnant women. They were dying. No investigation went on. Why is it that this hospital, when pregnant women go there, they die? Until one day, it took a nurse. The nurse opened the door late night, and this was a pregnant woman lying down there, and the doctor's mouth was full of blood. He was so much into it, he didn't even hear the doors open. The nurse was totally flabbergasted. It was like, what is this? She reported it. And listen, the Ghanaians that we are, when the matter came out and the matter was going to be taken to court, they quickly arranged the same doctors for their colleague, professional colleague, to Nicodemously leave the country. I don't know why we didn't ask for this guy to be brought back to Ghana to be tried. Dr. Odroy. How many people remember this story? Please, if you're watching and you remember this story, let me know. We help foreigners to disrespect us and kill us. And when our citizens die, it's like animals have died. Look at the last election. 8 people gunned down in cold blood. Nana Addo never mentioned the word. Bawumia was asked, what did he say? He said, I don't know if there was any investigation or not, but I'll find out. Hey, you want to be president? The election that brought you into the presidency, the people who died, you didn't know because you were in your air condition sleeping and snoring whilst people were being gunned down on the street. Is that not an irresponsible leader? You don't know whether your people are dead or not. Or did he say that, I know Actually, 8 people died, but I don't know whether it's been investigated or not. Hey, are we safe? We have to hold our leaders accountable. Very soon, I'm going to form a certain youth movement. Wallahi Allah. A certain powerful, strong movement. Stronger than the true apartheid. Big and strong. We will go around whipping all these people into line. Ghana deserves better. We have been taken for fool for far too long. There has to be a bigger power than just the army and the police. How many people agree? Any president who comes in and buys the police and the army all across Africa, they have a field work. Look what is happening in Cameroon. Look what's happening in Togo. Look what's happening all over. The president only needs to buy the army and the police and can misbehave with the people and the country anyhow. Do you know that Paul Biya at 92.5 years still wants to run for election? He wants to be 100 before he stops. He's a black pot, aka Kukushono. And here we speak truth to power. Shall we? Look at the rest of your comments. Nobap says Bawumia is a disgrace. I agree with you. He says not only to his party but to Ghanaians. Cesaro Socrates says, did Bawumia call Nana Addo a murderer by comparing him being called a liar to his boss? Or who is called a murderer? J. Coolman says, respect Black Rasta. Nobap says, do you understand English? At least I wasn't called a murderer. That's throwing his boss under the bus. Okay, so there's a comment that I'm missing. And, okay. He wasn't called a murderer. I'm trying to get what it is. Yeah. Nobab says nothing is more annoying than that giggle he does. Yes, that guttural laughter. Yeah, that thing, right? Bawumia is so empty. Benzino says, we are here again. Another Monday with Black Pot. Patriotism, not politics. Run the story by you to the bongo clippers. Nobab says, show them all. He says, he wants to play Gwara Gwara with Ghanaians. No, Gwara Gwara. Go. It's what is on the internet everybody is doing. They pass, 2 people are approaching each other, they pass each other, something, go. Then one man will start chasing the other one. Men chase women to the bedroom to continue the go in there. Bawumia is a circus clown. Nobab says the only difference between Bawumia and Bobo Kala is that Bobo Kala is acting. Bawumia is not. Hallelujah. Jesus is Lord. Nobab! Bawumia would hide his face if he was wise. 8 people killed and his answer was, oh, the president hasn't addressed it, so let's move on. J. Coolman says, Mana said it good and apologized. Yes, we need minimum sense of integrity. Minimum sense of integrity in the media or maximum integrity. Okay. Nobap says 8 lives of kids as young as 14 were murdered. And Bawumia couldn't say anything. But let's move on. Kojo Wamful says, wow, Israel, so religious. Tampe Nkwa. Tampe. Kojo Wamful. Oishun Tampe Obia. Go there. They lead the whole world when it comes to consumption of marijuana. Percentage-wise. And also, they have the best labs for marijuana. They are most scientifically developed when it comes to ganja in Tampe than any other country. Prince Abrokwa says, Black, what's the title of the song you play on Blackpot at 3FM? I've answered this question 1 trillion times, but no problem. The humble servant would always answer. You're talking about well, that segment is now called Voice of the Patriot. The Voice of the Patriot. Yeah? So that we can differentiate that from what we do here as the Black Pot. And it's by SL2. It's a group known as SL2. S as in Schiffel. L as in Lord. 2. 1, 2. Yeah? Numerals. SL2. And the title of the song is On a Raga Tip. On a Raga Tip. Nobab says, look at who is speaking. Proximity to power would really have people talking out their neck. Human says, big love every time. Black, watching you live from Spain. More love and respect. Big up yourself, Human. Nobab says, this guy is another incoherent person. Ah, well. Nobab, he says his cabinet won't listen to him, but we should. Yeah, I like that. His cabinet won't listen to him, but we should, because we are Jones, as we say in Ghana. And we're John, Jon. Nobab says he. Antaru Yakub says, Wayo. Nawo Zugu. Nawunzo. Okay, you want to say Nawunzo. Nawunzo. Nobab says, Baumia can't even be assemblyman for Wale Wale. Shia. Reverend P says, stomach journalism is Ghana's greatest problem. Where were you yesterday? Why couldn't you ask any question during the forum? I'm so disappointed in you. Me, as you go to Baumia. It looks like you don't know me. You don't know me. I'm telling you, if the man becomes president, I'm out of the country, I'm saying stomach journalism. The man has proven beyond all doubt that he can't do it. That's a disappointment. I should waste my time and go and ask him what? I'm not asking him no question. I'm not going to any such event. You think I'm a joker? When I say my things, please open your ears and listen. Me at Baumias, then you don't know. Who name me? You don't know me. Me. Jose Kofi says, I remember this story vividly. Hey, so this guy says stomach journalism. Me. Are you new in the country? Stomach journalism. And we are still poor like this. Do you know who the stomach journalists are? Should I mention names? Should I? So that you get to know them. There are those who do the touch screen, Adumochiri and his friends, and they are the stomach journalists. They are the stomach journalists. Go and see their bank accounts. Go and check my bank account. One city crown at 2. Say Anuma. If you see a stomach journalist, you will know. They are hungry like me. Joker, Reverend P. I remember this story vividly. And Abigail Aqua Bafo said, yes, I remember this story very well. So they remember the Dr. Aldrich story. So these people who are talking, in fact, at least they are more than 30 years. Antaru Yakub says, I agree with you, Black. What about? Nana Abwaji says, wrong things, Black Rasta. Kofi Abranti says, sad for Ghana. We have to run away because the future holds no hope for the youth. We don't have to run away. We have to stay and help it move. We are moving out in protest. But even whilst we are away, we are still contributing to the development of the nation. We had hopes. We were patriots until we realized that the country belongs to a certain class of non-patriots, not his citizens. That's okay. I agree with you. Akwesi Pipra says, this show keeps me motivated. Big up teacher, much love and respect. Mark Romeo Ofori says, greetings, Professor Black. Adongo Francis says, I think Ghanaian youth are not angry enough. I don't do what pleases man, but I do what pleases God. Isa Yidambla. Yakubu. Yidambla means a small husband. Wow. Chibili? 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 It means, in Twi, how do we say Chibili? Okay, the chair? Champion Zikalanga. He says more fire. All right. Well, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you and I love you. Yeah. I want to say thank you so much for being part of this show. Tomorrow is yet another day and it's going to be hotter. I see it in the news all over and I'm like, woo! Tomorrow is going to be hotter. When we return tomorrow, we shall have more. But our numbers are rolling on the screen. Make sure that you pick up the numbers so we can do some more talking. In the interim, It's been the Black Pot, and on behalf of my team here, together we say, hey! Whoa!